Steve, thanks for taking the time to join us for pre-season. It's come around quick, hasn't it? Already back underway.
Too quick, maybe. Too quick, but after Wembley, it was only going to be 3-4 weeks, and it's flew by. And here we are now with a month to go before the start again. If we ever wanted a reality shock, when the fixture list came out, we thought, oh, here we go. The first 4 or 5 games are a bit daunting, to say the least, but it's where we all want to be again, and let's try and embrace it and have a go.
It's a tough start, but as a manager, as players back in the Premier League, it's what you want to be playing in those games.
Well, look, we had many, many dark times, and we had a decent season in the end because we got to where we wanted to be, and it all came good in the end because you want to play in the Premier League, and especially this year when you look at your Klopps and your Guardiolas and your Mourinhos and all of the rest of them, and they've got to come to Little Hull, and that's part of it. That's part of the Premier League, and we'll be doing our utmost to see if we can survive in it and try and do our best and stay in there if we possibly can.
As a manager, as a professional, you're looking forward to cracking a bottle of red after the game with a couple of these people?
Well, I always crack a bottle of red, whether they're a big person or a small person. It's all part of what we do, but the Premier League, if you ever want it to be as mouth-watering, I don't think it could be any better than what it is this year. And to be part of it with a club like ours is terrific. Let's embrace it and enjoy the challenge. It's going to be difficult, of course, but let's try our best.
Obviously, you mentioned 4 weeks, short turnaround, and international football in the way as well.
Yeah.
Does that affect your preparations?
Yes, but then again, it's only just started. The transfer window's just starting, in my opinion. The big boys are going to work, and once the big boys go to work, then it filters through into the small ones. So we know what we need to do. I mean, I know there's a sense of doom and gloom around. We need to go and get 5 or 6 in if we can. We had a cruel blow last night with Odebejo, which is cruel to us. But it's football, and we've got a chance to do something about it.
Tell us about Moses if you can. I know it's short turnaround since last night.
We think he might have dislocated his kneecap, and then obviously we've got to look at the severity of the ligament damage which that causes. Let's hope it's not as severe as Snodgrass, but obviously it's a serious injury. And when you dislocate anything, you hope that it's not too bad, but it always leaves an aftermath which you've always got to guard against. So keep our fingers crossed for Monday.
In terms of the 5 or 6 you might bring in, where do you feel best areas to strengthen would be?
Well, you don't have to be a rocket science to say we need it in all areas. We need it defensively, we need it in midfield areas, and we need it up the top end of the pitch. So we know what we've got to do, and we'll try our best to try and do that.
$1 million question we all have to ask you. Anything on the horizon in the near future?
Well, it's just something interesting came up half an hour ago, and if it does come off, then wonderful. It's one that's exciting, but I can't reveal anything because it was only half an hour ago. But that's where it is now. The phone goes, and players have fallouts with coaches and managers, and don't come back in the right condition or whatever, and all of a sudden they're available. And if this one's true, then it would be mouth-watering for us.
We saw the majority of your first team squad, as it were, last night at Grimsby. What was your thoughts on that? A decent hit out?
It was good, they're tired because they've been in Portugal for 10-11 days and worked their backsides off. And with the injury, I've decided to make today an under-21 game. I was going to bring 4 or 5 down here, and but then we've had 3 big injuries in a week. With Alex going down, McGregor going down, now Odebejo. Obviously El Mohammadi couldn't get a pass, so he's involved today. And then we've got still Myler and Bell still away. They don't join up with it tomorrow. Then it's a good chance to see the under-21s. We've got 4 or 5 of them where I'm itching to see them play against a really good Ferriby team who turned over Grimsby in the week 4-1. So be a big test for them and a good test for them.
As for you, who is exciting in this young crop coming through? You've given debuts to a few of them over the last year or so.
Look, I would like to see the improvement. 4 years ago, I could never put our under-21s against North Ferriby. It would be a mismatch. Now all of a sudden we've got 4 or 5 of them, and Josh is obviously the standout one because he's played in the first team. But then there's Greg Lure and Max Ollie, and there's a few of them who I'm looking forward to at the start of their careers, and let's hope that they're going to have good careers.
Is that the future for this football club, do you think?
Well, it has to be. We're now starting to address when I arrived here. I'm aware that Nick Barmby is obviously the standout player from this area, and then Dean will tell me he was as good as him, Dean Windass, of course. But too many of the young ones went to play rugby. we've got rugby internationals galore from this city, and we haven't got many football ones. So we've got to try and address that, and address the young players of. So we made big strides in that department, and of course, if you can get 2 or 3 of them into your first team, then it's great to see them. And how everybody was excited with Josh playing against Arsenal and playing against Bury in the Cup last year was great for the academy. And long may that continue.
And I must ask you as well around excitement. You've been around the game for a long, long time now, year after year after year. You come out, the sun's shining every summer. How excited do you get at the start of a pre-season going into that
Well, I think
new
it's
year?
fair to say, I mean, I did in the summer have a real deep think, look, do you need a year off? You know, if I hadn't have been in the Premier League, I think I might have needed that. You know, you do lose a bit of enthusiasm. But when I started looking at the fixtures, and all of a sudden then you see Mourinho's and Klopp's and Guardiola's, and how can you walk away from it? You know, that was the simple thing. Like, how can you walk away from that? And it's what I do. So I decided to have another crack, and that's what I do. I've been involved, and fortunately involved, for 40 years. 40 years is a long time, and without any real break, but it's what I do and what I enjoy, and how blessed am I.
It could go the other way as well. If papers are to be believed, that the FA are on the phone to you as well. Have they been calling?
Well, I'm hearing it's just through. There's too much speculation to say they're not going to get in touch. So I hope it's true, and I think everybody who's English would love a call, wouldn't they? I have to be honest. If it comes and I get a chance, then of course, then to represent your country at the highest level, it's got to be the accolade of anything. So I don't know if it's going to come, or whether it will do, or whether it won't. But if it does, then I would love to have a crack.
And imagine finally as well, in your shoes, having sat like we have to watch the last 3 or 4 weeks, you'd feel you could probably do it better, fingers crossed.
Well, it's a hard job, of course it is, but you wouldn't put yourself forward if you didn't think you could. I think it's arguably the right time. I've been in touch something like 800 games. I've managed. Then I've played 1,000 games. So, you know, I've been around the block a bit. I would hope that would stand me in decent stead.
I can understand when I hear those numbers why a break might have been on the horizon.
Yeah. I think it's vitally important that you have to have the enthusiasm, and I've been here 4 years now, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. And there's always a time to leave the party, of course, but this summer wasn't the time because of getting into the Premier League and what that entails.
Well, thanks for talking to us, Steve, and best of luck for the season.
Thank you very much.